Alright boys, how's it going? Welcome back to another trade execution video. This is a series or a journey where I turn myself from an unprofitable trader into a profitable one. Let's get into today's price action. So on the weekly, I still have this sell side liquidity marked up and this buy side liquidity marked up. We see price has taken this low, tapping into this weekly gap, and is ultimately heading for this draw, this buy side liquidity, which is to seek a new all-time high, I do believe. I don't think we will get it in this weekly candle. We are showing some sign of rejection. However, in the next week or two, I believe that we shall take this high. On the daily, we have this daily gap that we can see price respecting right here. We tapped into this gap with FOMC yesterday, and for those of you who do not know, FOMC is a red folder important news event, so that's why we were cautious and did not end up taking a trade yesterday. So with this daily gap, I expect for price to come higher and take out this external draw. Now, we could possibly get it in this section. We are about to take this high right here. I believe we'll take this high pretty soon. We ended up taking liquidity and we are coming higher. I have a 4-hour bullish change in the state of delivery. On the 1 hour, we are respecting bullish gaps and going higher off of them. So I anticipate price to go higher. To the right, I have noted the reasons why I could potentially take a trade today. Every day it's the same thing. I look for about 3 to 5 confluences. As I just explained, we have this daily gap that is showing signs of it being respected. We had this 4-hour change in price delivery from bearish going in to bullish going out. We have a clear internal to external textbook model. We have relatively equal highs resting above that will get taken pretty soon. And on the 1 hour, we have these gaps being respected. So price is respecting bullish gaps and disrespecting bearish gaps, which is a clear bullish sign for higher prices. So all there is left to do is wait. That being said, I can start with marking out my session, 9:30 to 11, and I can also mark out my levels. Alright, so it looks like price wanted to take out this draw before the session started, which is completely fine because I anticipate price to reach higher anyways. So the only other valid draw that I would look for price to go to is these highs, and if this high gets taken, then I'm pretty sure price will take out this high. But we'll just have to see what price wants to do and how market open reacts. My levels are lower than price, and those are my targets. So we'll see what price wants to do. We do have this 15-minute gap resting below. Possibly price might want to come down into this gap to then go higher and target maybe market open the 9:30 level, which would be a pretty good idea. We still have these 5-minute gaps as well resting below here, and y'all know that I am a lot more drawn to the lower time or the higher time frame gaps. I would much rather want to see price open, go lower to this 15-minute gap, and then target 9:30. That would be ideal. As y'all know, if price is above midnight and 8:30, then it is considered a deep premium, and if they're below, it is considered a deep discount. So I want to see price fall below and come to this 15-minute gap so it can be deemed in a discount to then target this 9:30 open. That is what I'm hoping for. Price could also target this 1 hour unfilled gap. That could be a target too. Alright, and it looks like price tapped into these 5-minute gaps. Now, like I said, I usually take the higher time frame gap over the lower time frame gap. So if price ends up going higher off of this gap, then I need to see price make another 5-minute gap to then go higher. But I would much rather take a trade from this 15-minute gap than this 5-minute gap. Looks like price tapped into that gap. I would need to see this 15-minute candle is closing in about 3 minutes. If it can close respecting this 15-minute gap, then that'll be perfect. We're in a trade around here trying to target that 9:30 for about 3 hours. We might be getting out a little sooner. If we don't reach 9:30 before 10, I will get out when the next 4-hour candle opens, because that'll be when a new key level gets established. Alright, we ended up losing this 15-minute gap. I expect it to hold, but looks like it might be closing through. So this 15-minute gap wasn't really respected. However, we have this hourly gap, and price is not making a new gap. So this could be a target right here. I still think we are bullish. However, if my idea was wrong, then we're looking to take some more liquidity. Alright, looks like we tapped into those gaps. Alright, so we were unfortunately stopped out once again. on this short idea. I put a pretty huge dent in the account. We lost about half of it today. Here would have been the re-entry if I wanted to take it, and that would have been the trade, but I already lost too much, so I decided not to take it. If you like this video, you stay to the end. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. Alright, so this is going to be part 2 of the trade execution. I didn't record this live. As you can see, the balance has updated. We were down. We still are down. We ended up taking a long right here that didn't play out. I was targeting the open. I knew that open wanted to be targeted, and we ended up getting stopped out and inversing a 5-minute gap or the 15-minute gap. So I waited for another gap to form, and we had a 5-minute bearish gap, which I then shorted from. I got stopped out, and then it ran. I was going to target this low or my levels again, and if I did, then this trade would have been about a 1 or 2 right here, or a 1 to 1.5. But I didn't catch that trade. Instead, I stuck with my bias and I waited for a reason to go long. Let me get back on TradingView. As you can see right here, price ended up inversing this 5-minute gap with this candle right here, disrespecting bearish order flow, creating a new bullish leg. Price ended up tapping into that gap, and then I ended up entering, even though I probably shouldn't have, but we had a reason to go higher. It was a clear internal to external model, but I got faked out. Price just wasn't ready to move in my direction. I usually say just stay out after the losses that you have taken, but I was confident in myself and confident in my strategy, and we ended up having price reach full take profit. That being said, I hope that y'all enjoyed this part 2 of this trade execution, even though it wasn't live. It was more of a trade breakdown, but nevertheless, I will see y'all tomorrow.